EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
319!
Running right, here's Sanders. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On second down, here's Rodgers. A beautiful spin and room to run. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Ooh, what a move. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And right away, he lost the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
A first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second and goal. So second and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
Now let's go!
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
319!
Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
258! Jumbo! 258!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points,
Here we
it's a
go.
whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there, a 22. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Take it on in for a giant touchdown. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
319.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Quick slant caught by Moore. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep. That's caught at the 25. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Hey, 626. Now, this. 319.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Detroit! Gone!
Back to throw here. And Ingram hauls it in. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
Detroit!
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Gone.
He'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And that'll be incomplete. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Rodgers now on 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And who's got it? The Giants. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, Let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up second down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
On second down, here's Barkley. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Detroit!
On third down, Barkley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on third down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
No. Check. Patriots!
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That's a quick strike out to Watkins. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Saquon Barkley. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Back to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Giants send out their punter now. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So that play much needed there, as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10.
Hey, check.
On 1st down, Rodgers. That's Samuel, caught left side. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Hey, we got 3 down. Shift, watch the shift. Yeah, Liz.
And again, it's Rodgers. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. So, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now out come the Giants. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory. But also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll set up to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 6.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, where y'all going?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Rodgers now on first down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. On first and 10, here's Rodgers. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Looking for the end zone. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Yeah, the Giants ready to come out now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They're going to look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll go to Barkley again. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They get it to him running left. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Here's Barkley, and he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will extend this big lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
All right.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. throw with Rodgers. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Point after try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done. So for the Giants, they pick up win number 7 on the year. And they'll